All right, good evening. Merwin Smith coming back to you again. I'm a candidate for re-election for Lenore County Board of Education. So I'm coming back on again tonight to try to correct some more misinformation that was put out. But first, somebody wanted to know my educational background yesterday, I believe. So I'm a proud, as you can see in the background, I'm a proud 1987 graduate of North Carolina A&T State University, where I hold a Bachelor of Science degree. Not that that has anything to do with being on the school board, because I don't know that everybody on the school boards have a degree. But neither here nor there. I just came to address some information that was put out by Mr. Britt on his Facebook page and in his interview that is not correct. So the first thing I want to address is looking at this paper. It says that we closed school for 198 days. Well, the first thing is that there are only 180 days in a school year. So I don't know where his calculation came from, but neither here nor there. The state closed the schools in March of 2020 through June of 2020. Okay, so that wasn't the Lenore County Board of Education closing schools. That was the state. So then he states that um, something about losing teachers deserve a level of support like never before in the monumental task of recovering lost ground in educating our students. Well, that was nothing that was specific to Lenore County schools. We do know that children did lose some ground during the pandemic. And I don't know why we are revisiting the pandemic, but since he wants to do that, we'll do that. Even during that time, I had two children in Lenore County Public Schools as well. So whatever affect one, affect all. And it's important to understand that as a board, you can't do what's best for one or two or three children. You have to do what's best for all children. So I want to address what he said about recovering lost ground. That ground has been recovered. If you look at the data, which I will give you in a few minutes, for our 23-24 school year, because what he cited on his page was the 22-23 school year when he said that we were a failing district. But let me see here. All right. So let's talk about the 23-24 scores. And if you looked on our board meeting, the not this past one, but the September board meeting, it was one of the highlights during the board meeting how far we have come. So let me just tell you this. In the 23-24 school year, we had 9 schools that increased the letter grade. We had 5 schools that exceeded growth, and the year before that was only one. We had 6 schools that met growth, and all schools increased proficiency scores. So, but then he's saying about recovering lost ground. I do believe with those statistics that happened last year, I believe we recovered that ground. And another thing is that that was 2020, it's 2024. So look at it this way: those children that were in the ninth grade have already graduated. So why do I reference that? Because our 4-year graduation rate is 90.3%. 90.3% graduation rate for the 4-year cohort. So that shows that those kids that went in ninth grade then have now graduated, and a part of that 90.3% graduation rate. That's outstanding, y'all. I don't know if you keep up with graduation rates, but that is outstanding. So I would say that we have definitely recovered the lost ground. So I don't know what he is referencing about recovering lost ground now. So then I believe that it states in here, let's see, that's the school report card. Need for transparency regarding areas of deficiency. Okay, if you watch our school board meetings, there's a report given on most of our meetings about where we are, student growth. And when you look at the September meeting, you will see all the graphs that show all the areas where we exceeded or met growth and where they grew in math, English, or science, or wherever it was. You can see the graphs on that if you go back and look at that meeting. We are transparent. Our administration makes sure we're transparent. There are slides that are shown during the board meeting if people care to come to the board meetings or even look at them on YouTube or look at them live or later. But it's all there. So we are definitely transparent on what we need to improve on and the things that we have improved on. Also, there was something I didn't quite understand. Concerns about teachers' insufficient authority to manage behavior and safety issues in the classroom. I don't quite understand that one. As a school board, we don't have anything to do with the actual classroom itself. That is a school thing. That's the principal's issue. I think our classrooms are safe. I think our schools are safe. Can things be done to maybe make them more safe, like all across the country? I'm sure there is. But as far as managing behaviors in the classroom, that's classroom management on the teacher's part. And if the teachers, have some issues, there's principals and assistant principals there to help with those classroom managements. And they have and principals have authority to do whatever is necessary, within the law, of course, to manage classroom behaviors, and they do. So I don't understand that part either. Then it says something about a growing administrative burden placed on teachers. I would like to know exactly what burden that our administration is placing on teachers. I don't know if they're referring to doing lesson plans. Yes, our teachers in the district do lesson plans, which I think is very important and which has led to our success. Lesson plans lay out what are you planning to teach for this week. That's important. All right. And also, I believe our teachers are required to have a set of emergency lesson plans. Well, why do they need emergency lesson plans? Because in the event something happens and they can't make it to school and there's a substitute, they need to know what they are to be teaching for that day. So I don't understand about growing administrative burdens. And, it sounds to me like that he's trying to throw off on our superintendent, who is doing an outstanding job of managing our school district. So if there are some administrative burdens placed on teachers, I would love to know what they are. No teachers have come to me. No teachers have emailed me or called me, or when they see me, tell me about any burdens. But if there are, I would love to know what they are. And the safety measures, I think we do that pretty well. We have resource officers at our schools. And yes, could we use more resource officers? Absolutely. But to do that requires funding. Maybe some of you all want to lobby the state to give us more funding to hire more resource officers. But I think the ones that we have in place are doing a fine job. The other thing is transparency and accountability, which I talked about just a few minutes ago. We're transparent and we're accountable. If you look at our school board meetings, you will see it. And one other thing I think that he referenced here is that the North Carolina Bill of Rights, which he is a proponent of. I don't know how much of the North Carolina Bills of Rights, which is the Senate Bill 49, is 12 pages and it's very in depth. So I would love to know which part of the Bill of Rights that he supports, because it's very in depth and it covers a wide range of things when it comes to the Parents' Bill of Rights. So I would love to know which part of that he supports. But, I just have a problem with people that put out information and it's not correct information. It's misinformation. And I've heard some call it fake news. I mean, if that's what you want to call it. But if you're going to put out information, please put out the correct information. Sounds to me like, the board is doing pretty good, very good, actually. I believe it was 2 years ago, maybe, and I might be wrong on the amount of time, 2 or 3, that we got the school board of the year in the state. So I think that we are doing a pretty good job governing our school district. Said we need for our board members to be accessible to the stakeholders, encourage parent involvement. That's one big thing I keep hearing is parent involvement. Parents are involved to the degree that they want to be involved. We encourage parent involvement. Our schools have parent nights. We encourage people to go to that. We encourage you, if you have issues, to come to the school board meeting. we have a policy where you can come up and do public comments if there are concerns. Now, by law, we can't address you individually in the meeting, but if you email me, I am glad to answer whatever questions you may have. Um, Email me, call me, whichever. But we are accessible to the parents, and we want parent involvement. If anybody's been in the school system long enough to know that parent involvement has kind of been an issue for years, so we try to encourage it by having parent nights and different things that they can participate in. Um, when I worked for Lenore County Public Schools, I was the safe school and dropout prevention coordinator for the school district for about 3.5 years. So I saw a lot of things in the schools that we would have. I would also do workshops that I fostered myself on some educational issues, and there were very few parents to show up. So parents, I know you're busy. I know your schedules are busy, and I'm not faulting all parents for not showing up for things, but please, please, we encourage you to be involved in your students' education. You have the right to do that, and we encourage you to do that. If there's something that you're not liking about your child education, please let me know. If there's something that I can do to help, I will. We have a great administration in place. Mr. Williams has hired great assistant superintendents, and administrative staff. So the people are in place if you just connect. Now, if you connect there and you don't get what you need from that, then contact us. There's no problem with that. I don't have a problem talking to parents. As a matter of fact, I was in the grocery store tonight and the parent told me about a concern with their child. And so I got the information and I passed it right along to the superintendent, which is what we do. But no, I don't have a problem with you coming to me. If you have anything that you need to talk about, I'm always open for you to talk. But really, I just want to come up here just for a few moments to talk about some more of this misinformation that has been put out. So please, please, don't just listen to what is being said or written, I might say, but research it for yourself and find out. That way, you're not acting on misinformation. Tomorrow starts early voting, October 17th, early voting. So we encourage you to go out and vote. And I'm encouraging you to vote for Merwin K. Smith for school board at large. And the ballot is 2 pages long. So if you turn over the ballot first to the back, go down, we're almost the last thing on the ballot, circle in Merwin K. Smith, and then go back and finish the rest of your ballot. Because I don't want you to get ballot fatigue and just stop before you get to the Board of Education. So please, please go out and vote, exercise your right tomorrow. And I would ask for your vote, Merwin K. Smith, school board at large, and I would appreciate it. Thank you for your time and have a great rest of your evening.